Today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple, cute little spring-like tulip block. This is going to end up being 5 inches across, 9 inches up, and this is just how to make this. Now you can make it into runners and pillows and other things as well. I'm going to be using this little pattern to make some free patterns for the shop. And if you need a pictorial version, if you'd like to follow pictures, I'll have one available on my website, and eventually when I get all that up, I'll link it in the description below. The sizes for all the shapes will also be in the description below. So here we go. So you're going to need a background and a top of a tulip up here of a 3.5 inch square. Draw a diagonal line from one end to the other on the background piece. You're also going to need a 2.5 by 5 inch piece for the bottom here. And you're going to need, of your background, 2 1.5 inch squares. Again, draw a diagonal. For the leaves and the stem you're going to need a 1.5 by 5 inch, and I've used different colors here. You can use them all the same colors or different. These ones here are going to be for the leaves, and these are 2.5 by 5. And you're also going to need 4 2.5 inch squares with your line drawn. Okay, so here's how we're going to put it together. Now you're not going to be able to see me sewing because I am not a professional YouTuber by any means, and this is the equipment I have. So we're going to take this guy here, place them on top of each other, and you're actually going to sew a 1/4 inch away from this line on both sides to create 2 half square triangles. Okay, so you can't see me sew, but I will be sewing. Okay, let's get some of this stuff out of the way. There we go, that is sewn. There's a line here and a line here, and you're going to cut down the middle. Okay, and you get 2 of these. Now you can finger press them, or ideally take them over to the iron. My iron is on the other side of the room, so I will not be doing that. Okay, now put them together like that, and you're going to sew down here. Just make sure that you have your little points, if possible, lined up. That's the more important thing. I am not going to be trimming all of these. You'll see it be trimmed at the end. Okay, there we go. I find when making tons of half square triangles that if you trim too much, sometimes the triangles themselves just never want to go together. And I'd rather have a block that's too big in parts I can trim down than too small in parts. So that's what we have there. I'm just going to trim these little cornery bits. See those little guys? There we go. All right, that's made. Now we're going to make the bottom of the tulip. Take that guy there. Take your 2 smaller squares. Put them in the corners like that. And you're going to sew directly on those lines. I'm just going to use a pin on one of them. This is called stitch and flip. If you see that terminology, that's what you're going to be doing. There we go. Okay, sewn directly on the lines. I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch away from that line to take this bottom corner off and that bottom corner off. And then, see, you stitched it, you flipped it. And all you've really done is just made a new corner. And I know people get these perfectly. I don't. No matter what I do, they rarely come perfect. There we go. Okay, so then these two are going to look like that. So This one here might be a little bit bigger than here, so just center this on the bottom. Okay. Just because we haven't trimmed these. So there we go. Now, when you sew it from this end so that you can try and open all these up. See, I caught that there and I probably shouldn't have, but anyways. I like to open this up and sew it because when you sew down here, you end up with a big bulky seam and your needle doesn't really like it. So open that and sew. Like that. There we go. I'll just sort of press that down. Okay, there's our weird looking tulip top. Don't worry that it's too big. Now, to make the leaves. I make these mirrored. Oh, here comes my dog Ella. Hi Ella. You're gonna wait. So, you're gonna set them up like this. And I like to do it this way so you can see exactly what you're doing. And they all fit in there, nothing needs to overlap. Okay, and what you'll see is these parts are going to be white, those parts are going to be white, and these are going to be your green bits, like that. Okay, so I am just going to pin the bottom ones. And you're going to sew directly on the lines again. That way you can take them over to the machine and sew them all at once so there's no getting confused. Hopefully your machine doesn't want to eat your corners like mine just did. It said, I know you're trying to do a video tutorial, therefore I will not really behave myself. There we go. One more. You can see there my machine decided to get a little bit hungry. And I think that'll be okay. I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so what you're going to do is trim away your corners. And I know this looks weird, but you're going to, because this here is going to fold back like that, and that's going to fold like that. So trim, 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 1/4 inch away. Now when you have a large triangle that you've cut off, I wouldn't do it to really small ones, but if you have a large one like this, what you can do is take that to your machine, sew a 1/4 inch down there, and then all of a sudden you've got a 1/4 inch triangle that you know it's free because it's just wastage. And what I do is I have a whole pile of these and I keep them in a bin, and every once in a while I take them all out and make cute little mug mats and stuff with them, and they're all cute little 1/4 inches, but you didn't 1/4 inches, oh my gosh, half square triangles, and not a lot of effort involved, so I'll put those aside. Okay, so I'm going to use my roller thingy to open these. These things are cute little gadgets to have if you don't have an iron handy. Okay, there's your leaves. And now for my stem, that's going to go in there. So first you'll sew it to one side, then you'll sew it to the other side. Oh, I had 2 stems. Isn't that funny? Anyways, there we go. Okay. Okay. one side sewn. Now my other side. There we go. Now for these ones, I like to press the stem in. It just likes to lie that way. And although you should be pressing usually to the dark side, when you have a block where you have a lot of intersections, sometimes you just press out because it just makes it lay flatter, and this is a good example of it. It's just best for these to be out this way. But go in here, I'm just gonna have so much jammed into these little spots, and it just kind of makes it annoying. So there we go. Use the steamroller. Whee! And then you sew these two together. And they should fit. There we go. That's my cuckoo clock in the background. Voila! Isn't that cute? I think these are so cute, and they're perfect for spring. They're so simple to make. It is best if it's ironed, but anyway, you get the gist. So then we're going to trim it down. This is my itty bitty mat, which I think is probably too itty bitty, but anything else is way too big. And this will just give you an idea. Okay, the bottom's not too bad, so we'll work on the top here. Okay, take a ruler. This one here is a nice one. It's a 6.5 inch ruler. Sorry, it's a 5.5 inch ruler. 5.5 inch by 10.5 inch. And it's by Lori Holt. It's a Q Cuts one. And I love this line of them. So basically, use a bigger mat to make your life so much easier. But you want to make sure you have 5.5 across is your most important. 5.5 consistently. And I got the sew line here underneath. I'm just going to stick the line right on there so you kind of have a nice straight line. And you have 5 inches. So I'm just going to, I'll trim this better over there, but just so you can see, go like that. Might as well keep it where it is. Put another line on there just so I have a straight line to follow. And you can see you can trim all of this stuff off. There you go. Although it's pretty rudimentary, it works. There we go. Tulip. So you can make as many of these as you want. They're great to use up scraps or fat 8 bundles or fat quarters if you want. If you're going to be doing a lot of stems the same color, definitely get a fat quarter. And I'm going to be doing some projects with them at the shop. But in case you want to make your own tulip, there's a cute little tulip block. Enjoy.